example, and we looked around. Because as I understood him, we had no chance of filling Dr. King's shoes. We had none of the qualifications. I had no exceptional strength, no divine vision. This lesson only posed a question. Could I have done what he did? Because could we have stood up to the forces from the Klan to the FBI, whose warfare was both quite literal and also came conveniently sized in manila folders? Within them tucked away the faces of your spouse, family, and children. The lesson we try and fail to teach about Dr. King is not about faith. Where do we find it? But the only reason we get so lost is because we cut out the part where he showed us. I was able to find my teacher's picture of the man pointing. Well, that is a favorite pose for Dr. King. The photo is unique. The podium belonged to Ralph First Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. And this evening, in 1961, the church was packed, full of congregants eager to see what Dr. King had flown in to say. And that source that I said he pointed to was no North Star. It was past the stained glass windows, past the white mob which rampaged outside the church, keeping the congregants locked inside. He was pointing to a freedom rider, probably sleeping somewhere on a bus, but just as determined to move on from the stop of violence taken into Birmingham. After all, the freedom rides had been passed off from the Congress of Racial Equality Corps to SNCC, the national branch, the student organization. With their words, these groups demanded integration in public interstate transit. With their actions, they took so much more. What CORE had come up with had grown beyond them. Freedom riders came by the hundreds. People as young as 18 stood up for what they knew was right. They faced life-changing violence, yet they drove on, chasing a light that was clearer to see when they closed their eyes for dreaming than when they awoke. And then, in the midst of their struggle, before any sign of victory, Dr. King pointed to them as he would a star. Their resistance created light, like striking a match. Their fight was a signal others could point to. There was a movement. The Freedom Riders are part of a legacy of constellation of Americans whose everyday resistances created a path to illuminate the way. Each moment created a small pinprick in the veil of the white supremacist system, each enough to let truth shine through. Dr. King was a product of this movement. His trajectory was much more like a pinball than a march. He reacted and responded to the change brewing around him. Today we suffer from a great overload. Gone are the days of a couple channels on TV for the whole country to focus on. Moments of victory and defeat alike are slippery in the national consciousness. We are overwhelmed. My generation has had all of our illusions handily broken for us. We hear y'all loud and clear. The world is on fire, money's tight, and the emperor has never had on any clothes ever. But if we have decided that the stories we were told are not enough to believe in, we must create our own. We must engage and invest in each other to create the resistance that makes faith. If we wait around for strength, it will never come. Dr. King's faith was forged of little fires everywhere. So many that when he was locked in that church, with the riots outside and the tear gas slowly seeping in, he could point anywhere and be confident that somewhere out there was movement. The struggle for freedom is not a New Year's resolution. You alone cannot sustain the motivation. It is all the people a photo cannot capture that are the wells we pull from to keep Dr. King let alone. But when you peel back the photo, we see he took from his crowd just as much as he gave. My classmates and I had the correct reactions for the wrong reasons. If someone asks you where you find faith, you find your people, and you look around. Thank you.